What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be having our first ever One Piece theory for the channel. Today I'm going to be asking the question, is Im-sama Joyboy? Well, let's just go ahead and get the discussion rolling. Let's hop on in. Now, just a bit of backstory. While we don't know much about Im, seeing as how as of me recording this video, the last time we saw Im was near the end of the Reverie arc, which was chapter 908, which at the time of me recording this, the last chapter we had was, I believe, 991. So we're close to almost 90 chapters from the last time we've seen him. Alright, and TLDR. Reverie was when the kings of the world came to Marijois, or Marijois. There's like 3 different pronunciations on it, so it's probably going to go back and forth throughout this video, so I apologize. For the Reverie, which is where they pretty much discuss politics pertaining to the world that they rule. We've then shown the empty throne, which is a symbolic gesture saying how there is no one king or no one ruler above everybody else. How, other than, the celestial dragons, there is no there's no top dog. But then later on, we cut back to the empty throne where we see the Gorosei bowing down before Im. Now, once again, Im is pretty in a total 3 chapters. So why do I think he's Joyboy just from that short amount of time? Well, there's a few things, and they revolve around Luffy, Blackbeard, Shira Hoshi, and Vivi. Alright, so up first, we're going to be talking about Luffy and Blackbeard. Now, why those two? Well, the first reason is because this is going based off the wanted posters and the pictures that Im was holding, had a knife through, whatever, the posters that he was interacting with. Luffy and Blackbeard, I believe, are, as we know, they're a part of the D clan. And while we don't know much about the clan, we do know that they're pretty much considered enemies of the gods. Each member that we know of has played a huge part in changing the world. Roger being the king of pirates, causing the new pirate era. Luffy taking on the world government, causing all this types of change, and how he's just able to, get anybody on his side, which, Mihawk has stated. The other example, Dragon, being the leader of the Revolutionary Army. Now, for the most part, members of the D clan they just stare in the face of death, and they're never, if they say that they are your friend, they mean that, and they will never betray you. The only exception to this that we have seen so far is Blackbeard, as he has been shown both be cowardly and treacherous. Has shown to be both cowardly and treacherous. He's a backstabbing bastard. There we go. I'm not going to try to keep saying treacherous. Cowardly whenever I believe it's when he was fighting Whitebeard, he thought he was going to die. He was just begging not to die, and then of course killing his crewmate to get the Yami Yami no Mi. Now, with all that being said, this is why I think that Im could possibly have been as Joyboy, and while we don't know Joyboy was a member of the D clan, there are some hints and gatherings that I'm going to be just kind of taking. Something I don't think I did a good job explaining. Why do I think Joyboy is a member of the D clan? Main reason being is just due to the fact that both Odin and Goldie Roger both pretty much kind of just said that they wanted to meet him, and how they were awaiting the day that he would return. And that's where I kind of just see him being a member of the D clan, and then just being allied with Poseidon, being a ancient weapon. That's kind of where I see that being a thing. But seeing as we have seen a member of the D being a traitor, I believe this is one of the reasons why Im was keeping a close eye on Luffy and Teach, since him possibly being a member of the clan knows exactly what they're capable of. Next up, we're going to be talking about Shira Hoshi. As we all know, she is the current incarnation of Poseidon, and that when the time comes, she can and or will basically take control of the Sea Kings and then use the Sea Kings to use the Noah and lead the fishmen to save the fishmen from the destruction of Fishman Island. Now, the apology I think that Joyboy left on the poneglyph in the at Fishman Island as the the apology. The only thing I can think of is that Eam, back when he was still known as Joyboy, felt that the only thing he could do to cause the least amount of loss, I guess is the best way I can describe it, is by betraying the Void Kingdom and possibly its allies. Because I'm thinking that the Void Kingdom and the other races, not that aren't the Celestial Dragons, were all kind of allied together. I believe that Joyboy, however, felt that there was no way that they could win, and so by betraying the Void allies and causing the destruction of the kingdom, that was the best thing he could think of to save the original Poseidon, and thus, by the world government coming into power, causes the world that we know. Fishmen being considered non-human, slavery, all that, and all that other stuff. Alright, so next up we're talking about Vivi. This one was definitely a little bit harder to place. There was no one specific thing I could think of that would make me think, why exactly would Eam be like so focused on her? There's a few different things I think that could happen. One, her being a Nefertari, which was one of the original 20 royal family members that created the world government, and thus the other 19, like the Don Quixote family and Charlos, the fucker that Luffy punched in the face. They ended up going on and becoming the the Celestial Dragons. I think that and since Vivi and her ancestors decided to stay in I'm calling it the surface world, they are seen as betrayers of the Celestial Dragons. So that's one thing I think that could be why he was focused on that. It was more or less kind of like a petty revenge or something for betraying the new world government. Second thing, which is probably more likely, is Pluton. Maybe Eam thinks that by having Vivi taken hostage, this would cause Cobra to forcibly tell the government and the Gorosei what exactly is Pluton. Hey guys, future me here again. Something I don't think I did quite a good job of is explaining the whole Pluton, Vivi, Joyboy, Eam thing. So my thought process is this. Since Joyboy knew exactly who Poseidon was and how he left that apology, I'm thinking that he would know about the other ancient weapons as well. So he would know about Uranus, I don't know. And he would also know about Pluton. And I think he would know that the Nefertari family, since they were in the kingdom of Alabasta, he would know that they would know something about Pluton. So that's why I'm thinking that he kidnapped Vivi in order to, and I say this a little bit later, to gain knowledge on Pluton. Because he might know where to start for it, but he might not know exactly where to find it, type of deal. So like I said, he knows he needs to deal with Alabasta, and so he goes through Vivi to get to Cobra to let them know this is what's going on. Yeah. And where it's located at, because I believe that the poneglyph in Alabasta specifically states where Pluton could be located at. The last thing I can think of, and this is even more of a stretch than Luffy using his powers, is that by kidnapping Vivi and having someone representative for all 20 families back in Marijois, like I said, I've seen so many different ways to say this name, I don't know. That by having all 20 families back there, something could happen. What that something is, I have no clue. That's the only thing I can think of. So I think that by having her staying there and having a representative from all 20 families back there, something's going to activate, something might happen, I don't know. But as a quick side note, the reason why I'm saying kidnapping is because as of right now, again, of me recording this, the last thing we really have from the reverie, the end of it, was something happened to Cobra and something possibly happened to Vivi. Whether or not that means Cobra's dead, or maybe he's forced to abstain from the throne, vacate the throne, something, I don't know. Maybe Vivi, like I said, maybe Vivi was kidnapped and they're using her as leverage against Cobra or something, I don't know. This is just what I think could possibly be happening. That's pretty much my thoughts on this theory. Just as a bit of a heads up, as far as I know, this was my own original theory that I came up with. I had pretty much took the liberty of not typing in Joyboy Theory on YouTube or Google. One, just to make sure, like I said, because of that, as far as I know, this is my own original theory. And the second reason is because in case it was, I didn't want to watch someone else's video and I didn't want to accidentally take in some of their own ideas and put it into this. I guess just as a last thing, the only thing that I can think of that would be the only there's probably a lot of counterpoints to this, but I guess the main one is just like the arguments for Vivi aren't really that good. But the only things I can think of was, okay, Nefertari, celestial dragons, I believe something has to happen by having all 20 families there for whatever reason. Something might happen too. Again, Pluton, with Frankie destroying the blueprints back in Water 7, and or in his lobby, same thing, but you know what I mean. The plans to make a new Pluton are gone. And with this being as much as the ancient weapons have been like hyped up, I'm pretty sure that the original Pluton is still out there somewhere. And so, like, again, I'm thinking kidnapping her, forcing Cobra to give up what Pluton is, and they're on their way to search for it. But anyways, as always, let's just get this discussion rolling down below. What did you think of my theory? Do you agree with it? Do you think I'm full of shit? I don't know. Let's just try to talk this out. Let me know down below. We'll just go from there. But anyways, as always, don't forget to do the normal YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And as always, y'all have a fantastic day.